Good evening, everybody. It is time for Bronco baseball on a beautiful Thursday night here in El Dorado. Tonight, the Broncos and the Derby Twins hooking up in game number 3 of this 3-game series. Kurt Caden here with you. Great to have you tuned in tonight on YouTube for Bronco baseball. Broncos trying to recover from a 10-5 disheartening loss last night, a game that saw the Broncos receive 8 walks. And they were gifted 4 errors as well and still could not come on top. They lose 10-5. And so the rubber game of the series here tonight with the Twins. Let's take a look at the batting order tonight for Derby. They lead off with Gavin Bourgeois. Braden Barrett will bat second, playing shortstop. Brennan Grant is the right fielder, batting third. Nick Burnham will bat fourth. He is the first baseman. John Davis is the catcher, batting fifth. Michael Bainbridge plays third base, and he is batting sixth. Kyle Walker, who had just a marvelous game last night at the plate, he bats seventh. He's the DH. Christian Dominguez is the second baseman, batting eighth, and Dustin Miller will bat ninth. For the Broncos out in the field, we'll go out into left field here and zoom in. There's Tyler Sutherland. Head out to center field, and there's Tyler Webb. And out in right field, we have, where is he? I lost Mike. There he is, Mike Leal. So Sutherland, Webb, and Leal across the outfield. Over at third base tonight, that's Tony Colsing right there. At shortstop tonight is Nick Hammocky. The second baseman is Anders Green. And over at first base tonight, Slayton Vaughn. Behind the plate, Ethan Maxey. We'll zoom in on Ethan a little bit. There we go. And on the mound for the Broncos, number 6, Andrew Morales. A very warm day here in south central Kansas. So, you know what they tell you, when it's warm, you're supposed to wear light clothing. Well, both teams have taken that to heart as Morales fires his first pitch strike to start our game. So both teams tonight are wearing the white uniforms, which may be a little confusing for you, maybe a little confusing for me as well. But we'll get it figured out. The Twins, white tops, white pants, maroon socks, and red numerals and yellow trim. The Broncos in their white unis with the orange numerals and black trim. The 0-1 pitch, high chopper. Anders Green will take it, fire over to Vaughn, and the first out is recorded. Our first pitch temperature tonight, 95 degrees. The feels like temperature is 105 right now. And I imagine it feels even warmer out there on the turf. So a quick ground out to start our game, a 4-3 putout of Bourgeois, and here's Braden Barrett. And the first pitch down low, ball 1. Braden Barrett, left-handed batter. And he slaps one foul for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here in the Derby first. The Broncos tonight have a Kentucky Wesleyan battery of Maxey and Morales. So you would think that would probably limit mound visits. These guys probably know each other fairly well. Here's a pitch on the corner for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Braden Barrett out of northwest Louisiana. He calls Lake Charles, Louisiana home. Morales goes from the stretch for El Dorado. And the 1-2 pitch, and just off the plate, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Morales played here last year, had a marvelous season for the Broncos. He's 6 foot 160 from Carmel, Indiana. And the pitch, that one's outside, and ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brennan Grant waits on deck. Morales, in his 4th appearance, of the season. Has a 5.63 ERA. Here's the 3-2 hit towards third. Colson got a glove, slowed it down, but unable to make the play. It'll be a hit for Barrett. Good effort by Colson. We've seen him come up with that play a number of times, but unable to snag that one. So here comes Brennan Grant. Grant had a forgettable night last night until the 8th inning. He had struck out 4 straight times, but then came up with a big RBI single in the 8th inning for Derby. So we'll see if that carries over for him here tonight. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Morales has given up 12 hits in 8 innings coming in. 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. He is 1-0 on the season. And all of his appearances have been starts, so his 4th start of the year for the Broncos. Barrett gets his lead off of first, and a bluff, and not going, and that pitch just off the plate, ball 2. The Derby running game was really good last night. Their small ball game was good. Their hit and run game was good. They did a lot of things very well last night on the offensive side. And the pitch from Morales. Time was called at the last moment. Didn't seem like that long of a time for Grant, but he called time nonetheless. Might have had some sweat dripping into his eyes or something. So Morales very quick, ready to work, and here's the pitch, and that one's low, ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes. I'm sure Chad Gerwick would like to see a good start out of Morales tonight. Used a lot of arms last night. He's got plenty of arms down there to use, which is a nice luxury. Chase Goulds, though, ended up getting the loss in last night's game. Here's the 3-0, and that's taken all the way for strike 1. If you follow the Broncos on Twitter, I took a picture of their lineup and posted that. Try to do that each night. Here's the 3-1 pitch, hit towards second base. Anders Green over to Hammocky for 1. Back to first, double play. 4-6-3 double play. Green, Hammocky, and Vaughn. And the Twins are done in the first. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. After a half inning of play, it's Derby 0, El Dorado coming to bat. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. And welcome back as we zoom in on some of the Bronco players here for you. They had Derek Feige told me the guys go back and watch the games, and they said I zoomed in on, I think it was Davenport, when he happened to be scratching his nose, we'll say. He didn't know if he appreciated that much. Let's take a look at the lineup here for the El Dorado Broncos. Their batting order looks like this. Tyler Webb will lead off. Nick Hammocky bats second. Tyler Sutherland batting third. Slayton Vaughn will bat fourth tonight. Will Price, the designated hitter in the 5-hole. Tony Colsing, the third baseman, batting sixth. Anders Green will bat seventh. He's the second baseman. Ethan Maxey will bat eighth. And Mike Leal will bat ninth for El Dorado. For the Derby Twins out in the field, from left to right, it's Gavin Bourgeois, Dustin Miller and Brennan Grant, same outfield as they had last night. Around the infield, Bainbridge is at third base, Barrett at shortstop. New second baseman tonight is Christian Dominguez, and Nick Burnham is at first. John Davis is the catcher, and the pitcher tonight for the Derby Twins, a left-hander, Case Rocco. Case Rocco out of Cuesta Community College from San Luis Obispo, California. A pitcher outfielder is Case Rocco. And leading off for the El Dorado Broncos, it is Tyler Webb. Webb will be heading to the University of Memphis next year, and he's the leadoff batter here for the Broncos in the bottom half of the first inning. Sun shining brightly, as you can clearly see. Shadow covering home plate. And some shadows sneaking in over at third base right now. Rocco will wind and deal, and his first pitch is low, ball one. El Dorado won at Derby on Tuesday night, 6-3, and then Derby wins here last night, 10-5. So the rubber game of this three-game series, two of which are here in El Dorado, and Rocco's second pitch is low, ball two. The next time we'll see the Derby Twins here in El Dorado will be Tuesday, July 12th. And then the Broncos go to Derby July 13th and 14th. Taking all the way, Tyler Webb will look at strike one from Rocco. So 2 balls and a strike. Back to a normal south breeze tonight. Here's the 2-1. Webb with an excuse-me swing. Missed, and it's 2-2. Last night, if you didn't join us for the broadcast, we had ominous skies overhead, a ton of rain just to the west of El Dorado, but we pretty much came through this game unscathed last night. Ran into some rain on my way home. Webb bounces one out to second base. Dominguez comes in over to first, and Webb is retired for the first out here in the Bronco first. So Nick Hammocky will come up. Nick Hammocky last night went 0 for 4 with a walk. Nick out of Fort Hays State University. He's from Hays, Kansas. 6 foot, 175. Of course, the Broncos have already played at the Hays Larks. That's got to be kind of fun for Nick when they play at Hays, and he's not a member of Hays High or Fort Hays State University. Here's the 1-0 pitch, way out of the zone, ball two. Davis had to get out of his crouch and make that catch. So second straight hitter that Rocco has fallen behind 2-0. He came back and got Webb to bounce into a harmless ground out to second base. And the 2-0 pitch, and that's lifted out into right field, right on the line, into foul territory, and the catch made by Grant for the second out. So here comes Tyler Sutherland. Be curious if it'll be confusing for the players. No, I don't know. I think baseball's doesn't. I mean, both teams wearing white uniforms tonight, but I don't think there's going to be that much confusion for the players. Shouldn't be. It's not like basketball or football or something. That might be a little different. So Tyler Sutherland stands in for El Dorado, and he'll look at a curveball in there for strike one. Case Rocco. I like how he spells his name. C-A-Y-C-E. Case Rocco. R-O-C-C-O. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Sutherland, lefty on lefty, and that's outside, ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Sutherland waits, he squares, and that pitch outside, ball two. Sutherland from Missouri Southern University. He's hitting .326 on the season. 14 hits and 43 at bats. He's got 3 doubles and 1 home run. 10 singles. So the 2-ball, 1 strike pitch to Tyler Sutherland. Curveball bends right in there for strike 2. Kind of buckled the knees of Sutherland there and broke right across the plate. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes Rocco with the 2-2 pitch. And a check swing and not called a strike. We'll go to a full count. Slayton Vaughn waits on deck for El Dorado. Last night heard a lot of chattering from the Derby dugout. Really encouraging their teams and kind of whooping it up. And then why not? They won 10-5 last night. 6-run 8th inning. Sutherland! Base hit right up the middle into center field. So a 2-out single for Tyler Sutherland. El Dorado managed just 3 hits last night in that 10-5 loss. So in one sense, you could say the Derby pitching was not great with the 8 walks they issued, but they only allowed 3 hits. So sure, their manager, Ken Jarrett, would rather see less walks, but has to be happy with overall how his team pitched and pitched out of trouble. Sutherland gets his lead. He's looking right into the sun as he stares at Rocco. And it's Slayton Vaughn at the plate for El Dorado. And Vaughn, first pitch swinging down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Sutherland stopping, and he was kind of hung up. Didn't know if he should go first to third or not. He probably would have had it. Nonetheless, bases now for runners on first and second for the Broncos, and Will Price will come up.
Now with the plate, your designated hitter from Oklahoma Wesleyan College, number 23, Will.
Sutherland took his turnaround second, was looking at Chad Gerwick. I don't know if I didn't take a look at Chad myself to see if he was waving him or not. Vaughn's hit kind of looped towards the right field line, and so the right fielder, Grant, all his momentum was going towards the Derby dugout. It would have been tough to wheel and deal and fire one to third. Nonetheless, Sutherland in scoring position with 2 outs, and Will Price will look at strike 1. Will Price hitting .241 on the season. Had a big RBI double last night for El Dorado. Chad Gerwick would take that here. Vaughn over at first, Sutherland at second, and the 0-1 pitch coming to Price. And he got under that, popped it straight above us, and out of play. So no balls and 2 strikes. Will Price stands at the plate, middle of the box, and really puts his hands, keep his hands close to his chest. They're out extended. Last night's pitcher, Rathke, loved to pound the inside, and it bothered most of the Broncos, but not Price because of how he stands there at the plate. He can cover the inside and the outside half, it looks like, very easily. No balls and 2 strikes here to Price, and that curveball stayed outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They'll play him straight up. Always a tough field this time of day, and for the next probably hour for the first baseman, the second baseman, and the right fielder on the defensive side. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Will Price, and he hits it towards first base, into the hole, into right field, a base hit. Sutherland coming home. Here's the throw to the plate. Sutherland dives in, and he is safe. So the price is right for Will Price. He knocks in Sutherland with a 2-out single. They were really on the infield shading him up the middle, so there was a good hole between first and second. Burnham holding Vaughn on, just couldn't get far enough off. So runners at the corners now for El Dorado. And Tony Colsing to the plate. He did not play last night. Will Price over at third. Slayton Vaughn went first to third for El Dorado. 1-0 Broncos. And the pitch to Colsing. That's in the turf. Nice block by Davis. Boy, he just smothered. He put his chest right on top of that ball and was not going to let that thing scoot past. So a run and 3 hits already for El Dorado in this first inning off of Case Rocco. Tony Colsing with a 1-ball, no strike count, and that pitch chopped towards Barrett at short. He's got it. He'll go the short way and retire Price. But a Will Price 2-out single is giving the Broncos an early lead. Our score after 1, it's El Dorado 1, Derby 0. More in a moment here on YouTube. So welcome back. We go to the top of the second inning, and the El Dorado Broncos lead here 1-0. Nick Burnham, who started the game at first base, he has been moved out to right field. Evidently, Brennan Grant, who grounded into that 4-6-3 double play to end the first inning, strained something. So Jason Plynn has taken over. He'll bat in the third spot, and he'll play first base. Burnham has moved out to right field for Derby. So Nick Burnham had a nice night, I thought, last night. Let's take a look at the numbers. Well, he ends up just 1 out of 4, but he scored twice, had an RBI, reached on a walk and scored, it was Burnham's kind of knuckling line drive to Kyle Love at first last night that Love wasn't able to glove, that started that 6-run 8th inning for Derby. Burnham a swing and a miss, and he's out on strikes.
Now at the plate, number 8, John Davis.
So 1 away, and here's John Davis. We did not see John Davis last night. He is a catcher for these Derby Twins. He goes to Arkansas Little Rock, and he's from Edmond, Oklahoma. Fine town, Edmond, Oklahoma. Always like going there. Let's see, we'll zoom this back out as I was getting my lineup all set. You kind of got an up-close look at that Burnham at-bat. First pitch, a strike to Davis. Batting in the 5-hole, and the second pitch released out into right field. Leal looking into the sun. He makes the catch. Hit right on the numbers there by Davis, but right at Mike Leal. So that'll be the second out, and here comes Michael Bainbridge, the third baseman. Bainbridge from Central Missouri State, the Mules. And last night, Bainbridge went 1 for 5, had a double, an RBI double, and he scored a run. Left-handed stick is Bainbridge. And the first pitch from Morales in there for strike 1. So Andrew Morales looks rather sharp here early on for El Dorado. Having a good second inning to this point. No balls and a strike to Bainbridge, and the pitch and a swing and a miss right over the top of that curve, and it's 0-2. And Andrew Morales likes to work quickly. I'll tell you, whenever you see a pitcher working quickly, generally they're doing pretty good. And the pitch from Morales, hit towards short. Hamakey's got it on a couple of hops over to first, and that will retire Bainbridge. A 1-2-3 second inning for the Broncos and Andrew Morales. We're through 1.5. El Dorado 1, Derby 0. More in a moment here on YouTube. So welcome back here. Kurt Caden from El Dorado. Haven't seen any emails trickle in yet. Let me give you the address. It's cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. CADEN. We always love our Bronco emails. We'll even invite our Derby Twins watchers tonight that would like to drop us a line. Would love to hear from you as well. Bottom of the second inning, Broncos lead 1-0, and it's Anders Green leading off for El Dorado. And Green, first pitch hacking, fouls this one out of play, strike one. We've got youth baseball tonight, a couple of fields going, so the parking lot's full. A lot of activity down here at the stadium, which is always fun. Good to see the youth playing baseball. The older youth and the younger youth. Does that make sense? There's a pitch down in the turf, ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Anders Green hitting .297 on the season. 11 out of 37. Right-handed batter, he's switch hitter, I should say, and he swung over the top of that one, strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Anders Green will bear down here with an 0-2 count, or a 1-2 count, I should say. Case Rocco looking for a better second inning after giving up 1 run and 3 hits in the first. And that one hit Green on the shoulder, and so a hit batter on a 1-2 count, trying to come inside. Didn't mean to go that far in. So Green down to first. And here's Ethan Maxey. Ethan Maxey, thanks to a couple of good nights at the dish for him, he's seen his average spike up to .333 now. Maxey with 15 at-bats on the season. Mason Stuckey has 25 at-bats, and Childs has 8 at-bats. So Chad Gerwick blending his catchers in, trying to make sure they all get some work, but none of them get too much work. Maxey squared around, took that first pitch, ball 1. Mike Leal waits on deck. Over at third base, Bainbridge getting ready to charge in for Derby. Maxey squares, and he gets the bunt down towards first. Rocco runs it down, has to fire over the top of Maxey. A successful sacrifice for Ethan Maxey. And that'll advance Anders Green to second base. And that'll bring up Mike Leal. Currently, Mike Leal is the third best hitter on the El Dorado stat list here as far as batting average is concerned. He's batting .355 on the season. 11 out of 31. He's got 8 singles, 2 doubles, and 1 triple. He's also taken 4 walks on the year. Left-hander Rocco against the left-hand hitting Leal. And the first pitch, and that one's in the turf. Nice job by Davis to block that. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Mike Leal from Corpus Christi, Texas, 5'8", 175, and heading to Lamar University next year. Rocco gets his sign. He's on the third base side of the rubber. No one really holding Green on at second, and Leal swung through that pitch, strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, don't be confused. Both teams wearing white. The feels like temperature at game time was 105 degrees. So they always say wear light clothing, and so both managers have done that here tonight. Derby out in the field. Broncos lead 1-0, and this pitch low, ball 2. Back to the top of the order, and Tyler Webb, he waits on deck for the Broncos. 2 balls and a strike to Mike Leal. He's scored 6 times this year. He's driven in 3. Long look in by Rocco. He's got his sign. Takes a look back at Green, and now the pitch, and that one's outside, ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike to Mike Leal, and he can really look for pitch and location here. Great thing about baseball, you got Mike Leal at 5'8", and Slayton Vaughn at 6'7", and they both can play the same game, and they both are very effective. Here's the pitch, and upstairs, ball 4. So Mike Leal, a 5-pitch walk, and runners at first and second, and here comes Tyler Webb. And you just know, you get the feeling Tyler Webb's ready to break open, hitting just 200 on the season. And part of the struggles here for El Dorado in their 3-5 start. Webb bats lead off and just hitting 200 right now. Looking to get that going. He has drawn 8 walks on the year. 9 runs scored on the year for Webb. He's driven in 2. He's 4 out of 5 at steals on the season as well. So a big spot here for both clubs. Tyler Webb at the dish for El Dorado. And the pitch, that one caught the corner, strike 1. No balls and a strike to Tyler Webb. He gets a little closer to that, to home plate than maybe like a Will Price. Dominguez holding Green on, and now here's the pitch, and Webb swing and a miss, strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Nick Hammocky waits on deck for the Broncos. Anders Green was hit by a pitch. He's down at second base. Mike Leal walked. He's at first base. Ethan Maxey had a successful sacrifice, 1 out of the inning so far. And Webb with the right hand stick. He's ready to go. The pitch and laced into left field, a base hit. Rounding third and coming home will be Anders Green, and it'll be a double for Tyler Webb. And boy, he struck that one clean. Diving effort by Bainbridge at third. Nearly had it, but it's a double for Webb. And an RBI double at that. So the Broncos now lead 2-0, and chance to really add on here in inning number 2. Nick Hammocky up to the dish. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field his first time. Derby will play back. They'll sacrifice a run for an out here. And Hammocky slaps one out of play, strike 1. Nick Hammocky also looking to get going with the stick. He's also just batting 200 on the year. 5 out of 25. 2 runs scored, 3 runs driven in. 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Hammocky, and again fouled out of play, strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. The Broncos have outdone their hit total in an inning and a third tonight that they managed in 9 innings last night. So Rocco with an 0-2 count here to Hammocky. And the pitch, and he'll go up high, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nick Hammocky. Nick out of Hayes, Kansas. Right-handed batter, Hammocky. He's ready for the 1-2 from Case Rocco. And the pitch, and that's outside, ball 2. No action in the Derby bullpen yet. El Dorado already with 2 runs on 4 hits. They've been issued a walk and a hit batter here in the first not even 2 innings. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Wind blowing out of the south towards left field here tonight. And the pitch, a little bit low, ball 3. So Hammocky's battled back to a 3-2 count. Rocco wanted to know where that pitch was, and the umpire said it was low. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Sutherland waits on deck for El Dorado. So an action pitch coming up here for the Twins and the Broncos. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Rocco's pitch, and Hammocky spoils it, hits it foul into the Derby bullpen. Broncos and Twins. Derby comes back here on July the 12th. That's a Tuesday night game. And then El Dorado will go to Derby on that Wednesday and Thursday to complete their season series. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Hammocky. And here it comes from Rocco and hit towards second base. Dominguez has it over to first. That'll score a run, and it'll also record an out. Over to third, Tyler Webb. But a productive out for Nick Hammocky. And here comes Tyler Sutherland.
Now at the plate, your left fielder, number 10, Tyler.
Sutherland with a sharp base hit up the middle on a 3-2 count, his first time. Sutherland came into the game batting .326 for El Dorado. 3-0 Broncos, 1 in the first, 2 here in the second. Looking to add on as down at third base is Tyler Webb. And the first pitch to Sutherland. And the microphone, I think they were distracted by Bill Young's microphone that became live. Bill almost balked in a run there for the El Dorado Broncos. That's home broadcasting right there. There's the first pitch to Sutherland's in there for a strike. It just goes to show how Bill Young's voice rings through the stadium, that he can stop play just like that. People are hanging on every word of Bill Young, and I long for that to be the case for me. Here's the 0-1. Sutherland hits it to Barrett at short. He gloves it cleanly over to first, and that will retire the side. But a good inning for El Dorado. They take advantage of a hit batter and a walk. They scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 left. We are through 2 innings here from beautiful McDonald Stadium. Our score, it's El Dorado 3, Derby 0. More play-by-play here on YouTube coming up. So top half of the third inning. Broncos, good to see them taking advantage of the offerings from Derby. When they give you a hit by pitch and a walk, you got to capitalize, and the Broncos scored both of those players in the last inning. 1 ball, 1 strike here, as it is Kyle Walker leading off. Boy, Walker was just a menace last night. And even when he didn't do his job right, it worked out good. Here's a grounder over to Hammocky at short, and the throw to first, and Vaughn unable to get the tag. Hammocky's throw sailed. Vaughn had to come off the base, and it was a close play on the tag and the step at first, and the umpire says Walker beat it, so that'll be an error on Nick Hammocky. And boy, the leadoff errors hurt the Broncos last night. We'll see if Morales can work around that here in the third inning. Christian Dominguez at the plate for Derby. Did not play last night, and he's squaring around, and that pitch well outside ball 1. Our first emailer tonight, Gayla Campbell. And she, like all of us here in the press box, enjoying seeing the Broncos get some hits, score a few runs, get up on top, trying to mow down the Twins 3 up, 3 down. And here's a wild pitch on Morales, and that will advance Walker. You know, well, sometimes when you have someone scoring around as a pitcher, they maybe try to do too much when, you know, the offense is giving you an out. So you just got to take advantage of that. And now moving to second for free is Walker. And now Dominguez squares again, and he looks at ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes. Christian Dominguez. He is from Bradley University. So 3-0. Will he square around here? He will, and he looks at a 4-pitch walk. So leadoff air and now a walk. All the makings of trouble for the home team. See if Morales can bear down here. Dustin Miller up, and the number 9 batter in the Twins lineup wouldn't be terribly shocked to see him square around here. Miller last night went 0 for 3, walked and scored in that disastrous 8th inning for El Dorado. So Miller, batting left-handed, he squares around, and that pitch low, ball 1. And again, almost pitching away from contact right now is Morales. And now Maxie's going to go out and talk to his college teammate, Andrew Morales. Broadcast tonight brought to you by our good friends from the El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated. Brad and Roxanne Cool, they're at 1216 West 6th here in El Dorado. They have a toll-free number, 800-279-4300. Terrific metal building makers. El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated. Squaring is Miller. He offered that time. Yep, he'll get called for strike 1. So, ball and a strike to Miller. 3-0 El Dorado. Derby trying to knock on the door here. Again, squaring is Miller, and was able to pull back, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Slayton Vaughn crashing in from first base. Staying at home is Tony Colsing. Ideally for Derby, they'd bunt it towards Colsing at third. So 2 balls and a strike to Miller, and again squares around early, and he bunts it towards the pitcher, and a spin and throw. He might have had a play at third, but he'll take the for sure out at first. So a successful sacrifice for Miller. And Gavin Bourgeois comes up, the leadoff batter for the Twins. He grounded out to Anders Green at second base his first time. Open stance for Bourgeois. So many right-handed batters have that open stance now. And then you'll see that front leg come forward. And ball 1 to Morales. From Morales, I should say, to Bourgeois. Morales has his sign from Maxey, and the pitch, and fouled, and it hit off the mask of the home plate umpire. His mask falls off, and now he'll walk out to Morales and give himself a few moments here. 1 ball and 1 strike. And now some encouraging words to Bourgeois from his manager. So 1 ball and 1 strike here. And the pitch, curveball upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. In games last night, there was 1 rainout. Wellington was hosting Hayesville. They were washed out. They're going to make that up today, I believe, a doubleheader. Hayes won again at Liberal. Hayes is on fire. Only once beaten this year. That was by our Broncos back on June 9th. And Bethany went to Dodge City and won last night, so a good win for the Bulls. And here's a chopper to second base. It'll be a long throw for Hammocky, and again too high. And that'll be a throwing error on Hammocky, his second of the inning. So an unearned run comes across for Derby. Dominguez had to stay put there at second base. And Nick Hammock, he's had a tough time with errors here in this first couple weeks of the season. So 3 errors last night by the Broncos. Now 2 more already here tonight, 2 in this inning. And Braden Barrett at the plate. 2 errors and a walk. And the pitch to Barrett. Nice pitch there by Morales. Curves right in for strike 1. Wind blowing out towards center and left field here at Bradlong Field. Morales has to get tough now. No balls and a strike. And the pitch. And that one's hit off the end of the bat, foul. Nice play by the third base coach. I know the Morales family are steady followers of our broadcasts here on YouTube, so I'm sure they're enjoying the game. Andrew's stuff is good tonight, but a couple of errors have hurt here in the inning. Stepping out, Braden Barrett. He singled his first time. He's got the only hit of the night for the Twins. And now Maxey will go out and visit with Morales. So the standings in the Jayhawk League here, the first half, Hayes is 7-1, Bethany at 5-3, Dodge City at 5-3, Wellington is 4-3, Hayesville is 3-4, El Dorado fell to 3-5 with their loss last night. Derby and Liberal are 2-6. So the 0-2 pitch coming to Braden Barrett from Morales. The pitch and a swing and a miss. And it is now the second out of the inning. So a big strikeout there by Morales. So Jason Plynn will get his first at bat tonight. Again, he subbed into the game after Brennan Grant strained something. Something didn't feel right, so might as well be safe. And he checked out, and it's Plynn out of South Florida Community College, and he looks at a big breaker for strike 1. Plynn from Lake City, Florida. Big dude, I don't have his dimensions, but it looks like a pretty stocky kid up there at the plate. No balls and a strike from Morales. The pitch, a swing and a miss. Strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Plynn. Burnham waits on deck for the Twins. Top of inning number 3, 3-1 Broncos. Morales has his sign. He's set at the belt. And the pitch. And Plynn rips one into left center field. That'll split the outfielders. Let's see if that scores Bourgeois. It will easily. And a 2-run double by Plynn. And we are tied. That 0-2 pitch just a little too good there. And Plynn pounded it into left center field. So the 2 errors come back to haunt the Broncos. 2 errors and a walk, and all 3 have scored here in the inning. So it's 3-3. And here's Nick Burnham, a chance to give the Twins their first lead of the night. He struck out his first time. And the pitch from Morales, fastball in there, strike 1. Morales had Plynn. Really didn't look comfortable his first 2 pitches, but boy, he squared up that 0-2 pitch. Here's the 0-1, Burnham, swing and a miss, strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Burnham. And the pitch from Morales. Going right at him, and it's hit to Colsing. He'll take it on the short hop over to first. That'll retire Burnham. 3 runs in the inning for the Twins on 1 hit. There was 2 errors, 1 left. We will head to the bottom of the 3rd. We're tied at 3. You're listening and watching to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. And welcome back. Well, we have some tremendous families of tremendous young men here that play for the Broncos and their family members who I appreciate their nightly emails. So much fun to read. Oscar Morales, I knew he would be watching tonight, and he is, and he's let me know that. Suzanne Vaughn watching tonight. Scotty and Suzanne Vaughn watching from Azle, Texas, and they watch their boy chop one into left field. A base hit for Slayton Vaughn. So Vaughn is 2 for 2. Brand new ball game here, 3-3 after Derby scored 3 times in that last inning. So thank you to the Vaughns. Thank you to the Oscar Morales, Gayla Campbell. If you'd like to let me know if you're watching tonight, love to hear from you. Our email address is cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. The first pitch from Rocco to Price outside, ball 1. All our games are archived here on my YouTube channel. The only one I'm still having trouble with is that Sunday night game. I screwed up and didn't hit end stream at the end of the night, and so I haven't been able to get that up yet. If you're looking to rewatch that one, I apologize. Price looks at strike 1. It may get to the point I may just have to kill it, because every time I pull it up, I get 4 hours of black screen. I can't figure out how to get back to the very beginning. I think it takes me to the last 4 hours of the stream. So, still playing with it. Price looks at ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Of course, we can be Facebook friends. I post the links on my Facebook page. I try to tag the El Dorado Broncos. Twitter, I try to put the starting lineups on the El Dorado Bronco Twitter page before each game, so make sure you're getting on that social media. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Price, and a good rip, and he fouled it off, strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Will Price. He singled, an RBI single his first time. Will Price is starting to get it going. He's at 241 with his average. But, boy, the last few games, he's been coming up with big hits for the Broncos. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vaughn, a modest lead off of first base. And the pitch, Price slaps it into the parking lot. Let's listen. No, didn't hear anything. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tony Colsing waits on deck for El Dorado. Second baseman Dominguez plays rather close to second. There's a good hole between first and second base. That's where Price went last time. And the 2-2 pitch from Rocco way upstairs, ball 3. That one looked like it may have just slipped out of his hands, trying to snap that curveball off, and it just didn't take. He's shaking his arm right now. Broncos scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Derby with 3 in the third, and now El Dorado with their leadoff man Vaughn at first, and a 3-2 count to Will Price. And Rocco's pitch, fastball, close, but called ball 4. So a single and a walk. And a mound visit. The Hayesville Aviators will be visiting here tomorrow night and Saturday before El Dorado will head to Hayesville. In fact, talked about it last night. After Saturday's game, I won't be able to talk with all you good folks until next Friday night when Wellington's here for just 1 game. And then we get into a nice stretch of home games from June 28th to July 7th. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 home games. So I'll be making the trek to El Dorado 8 times in 9 nights, which is just fine by me. But there'll be a little gap starting Sunday. Colsing with 2 on base and nobody out, and he's going to square around, and he bunts it towards third. Rocco fields it, fall high throw to first into the bullpen. Vaughn comes around to score. Colsing to second, and Price to third. Roy Rocco just did not look comfortable on that throw. So an error on Rocco. And now the Broncos really set up for a big inning.
Second baseman number 15, Anders Green.
So the first Derby error of the night, and that's a costly one. There was going to be runners at second and third with one away, but instead one run scores and there's runners at second and third and nobody out for the Broncos. And here's Anders Green. Switch hitter is Green, and he lifts one out into right field. And getting back is Burnham. Burnham's got the catch. Good throw to home, and they're going to get Price by a long way. What a throw by Burnham. Terrific throw by Burnham, who's been at first base, but just recently implemented into right field. And that's a huge pickup for his pitcher, Rocco. So Price is cut down. Colsing did tag and go to third. What a huge play by the Twins. And now Ethan Maxey will be called upon to come up with a big 2-out hit for the Broncos. And a swing and a miss, strike one. Boy, the Broncos were primed. One run in, runners at second and third, no outs. And now they still have just the one run in and 2 outs. Burnham with an absolute strike from right field to Davis at home plate. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And boy, it seems like that momentum has invigorated Rocco on the hill as he comes hurling 2 quick fastballs, swings and misses by Maxey. Ethan Maxey, 2 runs batted in on the season. Setting up outside is Davis, and here comes the pitch from Rocco. And he hit his spot beautifully. It's just outside, ball 1. I'm pro Bronco, but boy, when you see guys just hit their spots perfectly like that on an 0-2 pitch, that's good baseball. Here's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ethan waits, and the delivery from Rocco. Maxey hits it down the right field line, but that's spinning foul. Ethan Maxey had a good idea there. So one ball, 2 strikes to Maxey. The Broncos have reclaimed the lead. It's 4-3. Rocco's ready. And the 1-2 pitch, and that one's inside. Davis smothering that pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I always wonder, I think it's got to be maybe a little easier with the turf infield for catchers on balls I always say in the turf now. In the dirt, you never know. It might hit maybe an uneven piece of real estate, but you're going to get a pretty true bounce. I think it's a little easier on the catchers. Here's Maxey lifting one out into right field. Burnham going back, still going back, and he'll make the catch on the warning track. Maxey just missed. Well, it had the makings of a big inning. The Broncos do score 1 on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. We'll head to the 4th. Broncos 4, Twins 3. So John Davis will lead it off for the Derby Twins here in the fourth inning. 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for Derby. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Broncos, and a first pitch strike from Andrew Morales. And Davis right up the middle off the pitching hill and into center field. A sharp single by John Davis. Hit that one hard. So Michael Bainbridge will come up for the Twins. Bainbridge. Grounded out his first time to shortstop Nick Hammocky. Davis, like most catchers, doesn't take a big league, and strike one thrown in there to Bainbridge. So no balls and a strike to Bainbridge. And the pitch from Andrew, and a foul tip, and the runner thought he might as well run. Kind of an emergency swing there by Bainbridge, and he just got a piece of it. That curveball was bearing down on him, and it was kind of a mix of trying to get out of the way and swinging. So Morales ahead 0-2. Left-handed batter is Bainbridge, and the pitch, and that's outside, ball 1. Colsing at third, Hammockey's at shortstop, Anders Green at second, Slayton Vaughn over at first base. Quick throw over, and Davis takes one step back. We'll see if it's cooled off here at all. The game time, our first pitch temperature, it felt like 105. It was officially 95 degrees. And the 1-2 outside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bainbridge. The dangerous Kyle Walker on deck, and the pitch hit towards second. See if they can turn it. Green over to second for 1. No chance for a double play. They get the lead runner. And Kyle Walker steps in. Walker 4 for 5 last night. He reached on a Hammocky error in the third, which, again, those leadoff errors have really haunted El Dorado against the Twins. Last night turned into a 6-run inning, and in the third inning, the leadoff error turned into a 3-run Twins inning. Walker, a wild swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, it's cooled off all the way down to where it feels like 100 degrees now. So we're close to getting into double digits. The current temperature is 90 degrees. And Walker sprays one towards short. Hammockey's got it over to Green for 1 to first, and almost doubled up Walker. Good throw by Green, nearly got him, but the second out of the inning is recorded at second base. This time, Hammocky to Green. So here's Dominguez. He walked and scored. He was trying to bunt, you might remember. Morales ended up walking him, and he came around and scored on the double by Plynn. First pitch out of the zone, ball 1, now the 1-0, and what a stop by Maxey, 2-0. That was a spiked fastball, and Maxey able to gobble it up for the Broncos. Lots of emails coming in. I'll be getting to them, don't worry. Appreciate all the emails. Here's the 2-0, and he took something off, and he put it in there for strike 1. Over to first. Oscar Morales. Well, Oscar, I don't know if I can get all the way down to the field. He wants me to go slap Andrew on the head. He says you don't serve up a meatball on an 0-2 pitch. So we'll see if maybe Gina Short will walk down there and slap him on the head for us. Here's a bunt attempt, and that's fouled off, strike 2. Hello to our friends in Gilroy, California. Of course, the garlic capital of the world. Bev Quinby watching tonight. 72 degrees right now in Gilroy. Yeah, rubbing it in for sure. They're going to be visiting on June 30th. And, yep, get ready, bringing garlic. We are ready for the garlic. There's a pitch on the outside corner, a beauty by Morales, and he strikes out Dominguez looking. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Broncos 4, Twins 3. Always fun bringing the games to you. Stay tuned. More coming up in a moment here on YouTube. Mike Leal will lead it off for the Broncos here in the home half of inning number 4. 4-3, El Dorado. They've scored in each of the first 3 innings tonight. 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the third. Leal walked and scored his first time. And Leal squares, and that pitch low, ball 1. I always wonder if the parents tell their sons, in between innings, a lot of times I'll zoom in on whoever's standing outside there. I wonder if they tell them, stand outside there in between innings. Maybe you can get on a zoom in on camera. There's a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Big thanks as always to Bill Young, he figured out what was wrong with our camera last night and got it all set up, and everything's working beautifully here tonight. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I also enjoyed the photos we got of how some of you were watching the games, either hooking up to your TVs, your phones. I'm going to try to post some of those, so if you're watching in a kind of a unique fashion or whatnot, or even if it's not a unique fashion, I'd love to see how you're watching the action here tonight. Mike Leal's ahead, 3 balls and a strike. Three balls, 1 strike. Here's Case Rocco with the pitch. And a little bit high, ball 4. Mike Leal with that 5'8" frame sometimes can be a tough strike zone. And Mike has walked 6 times now this year. So here's Tyler Webb. Webb had a sharp single. It was ruled a single and advanced to second on the throw. So an RBI single for Webb in the second. He's 1 for 2. As Davis and Rocco visit on the hill, Davis keeps looking back at Webb. He looks back 4 or 5 times, and now he's coming back. Dale Short says to Bev Quinby that, you bring the garlic and we'll provide the heat here. Bev says she's sweating thinking about feeling like 105. See, now me being a Wisconsin native, I don't argue with the heat. I don't mind it. The hotter, the better. But then I will complain during the winter time. I'm not above that. 1 ball and no strikes here to Tyler Webb. And running on the play, a hit and run, and Webb fouls it out of play. Hello to Tori Webb. Tori, you are welcome. She appreciates the broadcast. Of course, Tyler Webb from Prosper, Texas. So we're glad that we're able to bring these games to you in the comfort of your home. Glad you're enjoying the broadcast. Thanks for the email, Tori Webb. And a throw. Boy, that Rocco didn't exactly step towards first. He didn't exactly step towards home, kind of in between. And caught Leal stuck for a moment, but then he got back to first. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Tyler Webb, Tori's son. And the pitch, and Webb lifts this one out into center field, and settling under it is Miller, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Got Webb out on his front foot. He got under that one and just lifted it out into center field.
Now batting your shortstop for Fort Hays State University, number 5.
So here's Nick Hammocky. Nick Hammocky is 0 for 2 with an RBI. His ground out last inning drove in Mike Leal. Or in the second inning, I should say. We're in the fourth. Here's Hammocky. Mike Leal over at first base. Rocco staring that way, and now the pitch. And Hammocky hits it towards second base. Over to second for 1, and no chance for a double play. Good slide there by Leal. Kind of stumbled Barrett a bit. So the second out of the inning is recorded at second base. And here comes Tyler Sutherland.
Number 10 from Missouri Southern, Sutherland.
Tyler Sutherland from Arkansas City, Kansas, down in my neighborhood. And Sutherland, see if he can do some damage here. The first pitch outside, ball 1. Appreciate the nice comments from Suzanne Vaughn. I won't repeat that too loud. I don't want other ears hearing that, but I appreciate that. The kind words. Glad you're enjoying the broadcasts. So 1 ball and no strikes. Over at first base, Nick Hammocky. And Sutherland got tired of waiting. Bottom of the fourth inning, 4-3 Broncos. Hello to Jana Stuckey. She's been up here a number of times watching from home tonight. Mother of Mason Stuckey. Sutherland hits this one towards first off the glove of Plynn. Sutherland will make it, and we'll see what the ruling is. It's going to be an error on Plynn. So Hammocky advances to second base.
Baseman from Stephen F. Austin University, number 40, Slayton Vaughn.
And Suzanne Vaughn, watching her boy now, Clayton, at the plate. He's 2 for 2 and an RBI opportunity here. I like that you sampled the other broadcasts, though. It's good to get a comparison. I'm glad where I ended up on that ranking. Of course, Jan mentioned Jana Stuckey watching tonight. It was Mason Stuckey who came up to the plate, bases loaded, in the bottom of the 10th inning here on Sunday night against the Dodge City A's. The Broncos forced it into extras, and then Mason on the first pitch took one right between the 2 and the 4, and he got a walk-off hit by pitch in a incredible comeback win for the Broncos. Vaughn got under that one, lifts it out into right field. Boy, he just missed. Coming in is Burnham, and he'll make the catch and retire Slayton Vaughn. Well, the Broncos threatened, but nothing across. No runs on no hits. There was an error. and 2 left. We've played 4 from beautiful McDonald Stadium. It's El Dorado 4 and Derby 3. Back in a moment here on YouTube.
Still leading 4-3.
So top of the 5th inning here from El Dorado. Twins and the Broncos. Game 3 of what's been a very competitive 3-game series. El Dorado winning 6-3 Tuesday at Derby, and the Twins winning 10-5 last night. A game that was much closer than that. They were seesawing back and forth. The Twins would take a 1-run lead, and then the Broncos take a 1-run lead. They flip-flop back and forth, but a 6-run 8th inning made it look a lot worse than it was. Dustin Miller leading off. He sacrificed his first time, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. That one glances off the glove of Ethan Maxey right into the El Dorado dugout. Fun to zoom in on the guys. Hopefully my camera work isn't too herky-jerky for you. Here's a chopper up the middle. Green lays out. Probably wouldn't have thrown out Miller anyway, but a good effort by Anders Green and a leadoff single for Dustin Miller. Green dove so hard his glove fell off in an effort to reach that ball. So here's the leadoff batter for the Twins, Gavin Bourgeois. Bourgeois officially 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 3rd inning and came around and scored. He's already squared around, and he'll look at strike 1. So no balls and a strike. Andrew Morales on the hill. There's a little light work going on right now in the El Dorado bullpen. Open stance here from Bourgeois. Maxey sets up on the outside, and here's a hit up to Hammocky at short. He'll go the short way for 1, over to first, not in time, but they force the lead runner at second base. So here's Braden Barrett. Braden Barrett is out of Northwest Louisiana, hometown of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Good lead by Bourgeois for first. Morales comes home. The pitch nubbed off the end of the bat. Strike 1. Sometimes I get caught watching the game and I forget to get my graphics going. Everything's right up there right now. 4-3 is the main numbers up there in favor of El Dorado. And the 0-1 pitch, and Bourgeois on the go. That ball spiked in the turf. No chance for Maxey. So a stolen base for Bourgeois. So he's down at second with 1 away. The tying run down at second base for the Twins. Left-handed batter, Braden Barrett. He had 3 steals here last night. The Derby running game has been really good here in these 2 games that I've seen. 2 balls and a strike to Barrett. Jason Plynn waits on deck for the Twins. And the pitch from Morales, and just off the plate, ball 3. Andrew from Carmel, Indiana, goes to Kentucky Wesleyan College along with Christian Ricketson and Ryan Bailey and Adam Brown and Ethan Maxey. It's got to be nice for those guys playing all season during the school year, and then they come here to El Dorado in the summer, and they've got a lot of familiar faces. That's a walk to Barrett. And now they've set up at least a double play opportunity on Plynn if they can keep him in the infield. Plynn did not play last night, did not start tonight, but was entered into the game after the top of the first inning when Brennan Grant strained a muscle. And on the move is Miller. Throw down to third, and unfortunately that throw was on the foul side of third base. Otherwise they would have had him. Colsing had to catch it and come back across the base, and by that time, Bourgeois had it stolen. So now that takes out the double play possibility. And the tying run is down at third. The go-ahead run down at second. Morales will have to bear down a 1-ball, no-strike count here to Jason Plynn. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Plynn. Jason Plynn, a pitcher first baseman out of South Florida Community College. And time is called by Plynn. Sun setting here in El Dorado. And Morales is ready. Plynn is ready. Here we go with the 1-1. Tapped foul. Strike 2. Morales and the Broncos would love a strikeout here. Now Tony Colsing wants to go visit with Andrew Morales, along with Ethan Maxey. Bourgeois has been prancing off the third pretty far. So Tony may be telling Ethan Maxey that he'll be maybe ready for a possible throw down to third. Always risky, though. If it's not a good throw, you give up a freebie. Maxim gives his signs to his infield mates. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jason Plynn. Open stance for Plynn. Maxey sets up on the outside, and that pitch just off the corner. Boy, did Morales hit his spot wonderfully there, but Maxey leans back, probably asking the umpire how far out was it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Andrew Morales comes set, and the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Morales. And here comes another tough out, Nick Burnham. So runners at second and third, now 2 away for the Twins, and they'll look for a big 2-out hit from Nick Burnham, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Burnham a strikeout and a ground out to Tony Colsing over at third base. And the first pitch in there for strike 1. Buckled his knees just a bit. A heavy curveball thrown there by Andrew Morales. So Andrew gets on top. No balls and a strike. And the pitch. And again trying that outside half. And it didn't get the call. 1 ball and a strike. Andrew is hitting his spots though. That is for sure. One ball and 1 strike to Nick Burnham. And the pitch, and a little bit low and outside, ball 2. Burnham from Cuesta Community College. His hometown is Antioch, California. Wonder if my California watchers, are they familiar with Cuesta Community College? Because Derby's got 4 players from there. And the 2-1 upstairs, ball 3. Out in Gilroy, have you heard of Clayton, California, or Antioch, or Martinez, California? Here's the 3-1 pitch to Burnham, and that one's outside, ball 4. So they're loaded up. And a very big at-bat coming up in this game. John Davis will come up. Davis smoked a single his last time. Hit off the pitching hill into center field. Force at every base here for the Broncos. John Davis, left-handed batter, and the pitch, and he's swinging and fouling it out of play. Strike 1. Hello to Ryan Bailey's mother, Lisa. She is watching from Illinois tonight. Can't wait to be here on the 4th of July. Can't wait to have you here. Thanks for the email, Lisa Bailey. No balls and a strike. And the pitch goes off speed in there for strike 2. Davis didn't like the call, and it's 0-2. 4-3, Broncos lead. And Morales wants to talk with Maxey. So we'll take a look at the emails. And I got a photo from Gayla Campbell, the Campbell Media Room. Yep, all you need is a laptop, HDMI cable, and TV. That's the way to do it. I like that picture. Looking good there from the Campbells. And that pitch outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Even though Colsing not covering third, Bourgeois slid back in as Maxey bluffed a throw down there. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Davis. And the pitch, and Davis hits it towards second base. Anders Green cannot reach it into right field. 1 run is in. Here's a throw to the plate, and that one's not in time. A 2-run single for John Davis. Just out of the outstretched reach of Anders Green. So a 2 RBI single scores Barrett and Bourgeois. So the Twins take a 5-4 lead, and the first pitch in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike here to Michael Bainbridge. Another left-handed stick here for the Twins, and the pitch hit towards Vaughn at first, and it got past him. I think he thought it was going to hit the base. It didn't. Burnham comes around to score. And that'll be an error on Slayton Vaughn, and the Twins take a 6-4 lead. Slayton was looking at that ball and looking at first base, and it didn't hit the base, and I think it caught Slayton by surprise. So Kyle Walker comes up, and we'll have a mound visit for the Broncos, I should say. 6-4 in favor of Derby, as they've scored 3 in the third and now 3 more here in the 5th. Talked about in my next life, I want to be a meteorologist, so it's fun to hear what the weather is in your part of the world where you might be watching tonight. Ingrid Green out in Silverton, Oregon. Partly sunny and 64 out there. They're having their spring and summer. Yeah, her boy Anders he's dove all over the place, but being a turf infield, they don't get quite as dirty as they would be on a normal dirt infield. First pitch in there for a strike to Kyle Walker. And that one outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Walker hasn't looked quite as comfortable tonight as he did last night. He's reached on an error and scored, hit into a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 2. 2 big runs out there for the Twins. Morales trying to shut this inning down. 6-4 Derby in the top of the 5th. And the pitch. Walker sprays it foul, and again, Morales has a batter down in the count, 1-2. He just hasn't been able to finish off a lot of these guys. The Twins have been really good two-strike hitters tonight. And they've been really good with 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Morales comes home, and that one in there across the knees for strike 3. A much-needed strikeout for Morales. But 8 batters come to the plate for the Twins. They score 3 times on 2 hits. There was a couple of walks. There was an error as well. We're halfway through from El Dorado. Derby 6, El Dorado 4. Back in a moment here on YouTube. So for the first time tonight, the Broncos come up trailing in this game. 6-4 Derby. And Will Price will lead it off for El Dorado here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Say hello to Daryl and Linda Maxey. Mama and Papa Maxey watching Ethan every night that we broadcast, so thanks so much. Ethan is due up 4th this inning. Price hits one in the hole. Barrett, glove, strong throw, and retires Price. Nice play by Barrett, deep in the hole at short.
Now at the plate, your third baseman, number 1, Tony Colson.
So thanks for the email, Daryl and Linda. And following their email, it's Mike Maxey watching every game. Says he watches whether Ethan's in the lineup or not. That's a good fan right there, Mike Maxey. We have good parents, I'll tell you what. First pitch in there, strike 1 to Tony Colsing. And the 0-1 hit up the middle, and Rocco's got it, runs halfway there, and then flips it the other way. And quickly, 2 out for the Broncos here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So that'll bring up Ingrid and Gene Green's boy. It's Anders Green. And looking at his uniform, you wouldn't be able to tell he's been diving all over the place tonight. That's that turf infield for you. Anders Green from San Mateo Community College, hometown of Silverton, Oregon. He's been hit by a pitch and then thought he had a sacrifice fly. Here's one hit and into center field. A base hit for Anders Green. Boy, Barrett was ranging. I thought he might glove it, but did not. So a 2-out single by Anders Green. So Daryl, Linda, and Mike Maxey. Here's Ethan. Ethan Maxey, a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning. He flew out to right as he hit it toward the warning track in right field. So 0 for 1 officially for Ethan Maxey. He looks at ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Ethan Maxey. 5'10", 190 from London, Kentucky. Right-handed batter. out of Kentucky Wesleyan. And Rocco comes home, and that pitch caught the corner, strike one. Ethan wasn't for sure about that one. You'll rarely see catchers give too much grief to the umpire because they got to live there. They got to live right in front of them. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch, and Maxey waited on it and fouled it off, strike 2. Curveball, slow curveball coming in there from Case Rocco. Mike Leal would be next if Ethan can keep it going here for El Dorado. So the 1-2 pitch coming to Ethan Maxey from the lefty, Case Rocco, and Maxey laid off the high cheese. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bev Quinby tells me that Cuesta College is in SLO. I'm not sure SLO, near Cal Poly University, 2 hours south, and Antioch is about an hour north of Gilroy. So thanks for the info there, Bev. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and Ethan Maxey got tired of waiting. Lynn Colsing, a faithful emailer and watcher, 75 and sunny today in Chaska, Minnesota. On the go is Green. The throw down to second, and it'll be a stolen base for Anders Green. So the count now 3-2 on Ethan Maxey. Derby bullpen still quiet. The Broncos had Trey Taylor and Roger Cruz. I zoomed in on them. They're warming up. Andrew Morales might be done after this half inning. Oh. And that pitch in the turf. Ball 4. Was that a Derby guy warming up down there? Really? So evidently that was a Derby twin, number 29, warming up in the El Dorado bullpen. That's interesting. May not like the mound or something down there in their bullpen. So runners at first and second as Ethan Maxey battled back to get a walk. So he's at first. He will not be held on. Anders Green gets a nice lead off a second. You can see that on your screen. And it's Mike Leal with 2 away. And the pitch, and upstairs just a bit, ball 1. Rocco has not been able to find the zone against Mike Leal. He's walked him twice. So 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch outside, ball 2. Boy, Maxey drifted a long ways off of first, and he scampered back quickly. You probably saw that. I know the Maxies. I'm sure you're watching the pitch, but you're probably watching Ethan at first as well. He drifted off a little bit, but Plynn plays way behind him at first base. So 2 balls and no strikes to Mike Leal. Lefty on lefty. And the pitch, and Mike will look at strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to Mike Leal. Mike came into this game batting .355. 6 runs scored, 3 runs batted in. Looking for a 4th here. Anders Green down at second base. And the 2-1 pitch to Leal. And that one caught the corner. Generous. That's a pitcher's pitch right there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Probably a good layoff there by Leal. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Mike Leal out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And Rocco at the hip. And here he comes with the 2-2. And a great curveball. Mike Leal fooled, and he strikes out swinging. No runs, a hit, no errors, 2 left. We'll head to the 6th inning. Derby 6, El Dorado 4. So the El Dorado Broncos and the Derby Twins doing battle here tonight. You know, I think earlier I was talking about that game Sunday night. I said Mason Stuckey got hit in the back, hit him between the 2 and the 4. Well, Ethan Maxey's 2-4. Mason Stuckey's number 19, so it hit him between the 1 and the 9. Roger Cruz is the new pitcher for the El Dorado Broncos, and I just became Facebook friends with Roger's mom. And I know I'm going to butcher it. I think it's pronounced Azza? I know that's wrong. It's got to be wrong. But I liked on her Facebook page, she had a screenshot of Roger, a couple of screenshots, and then some video of our broadcast on there as well, which was fun to see. So Roger Cruz, the new pitcher. Andrew Morales goes 5 innings for the Broncos, and he gave up 5 hits. 6 runs on, not all of those were earned, though. And the 2-0 pitch from Cruz, he's upstairs, ball 3. Roger Cruz out of San Mateo Community College. And the right-hander wheels and deals, and this pitch right in there for strike 1, taking all the way. The leadoff batter here, Christian Dominguez. 8-9-1 in the Derby lineup. The 3-1 pitch from Cruz, upstairs, ball 4. Well, the job right now for Roger Cruz, simple. Keep Derby right here at 6 runs. And here comes Dustin Miller. A sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning, and he singled in the 5th. Roger Cruz, ERA-wise, one of the better pitchers for the Broncos so far on the season. Here's the pitch to Miller, squaring around, and that pitch high. Roger's been high early on here. Roger's got a 3.38 ERA, 8 innings pitched, 7 hits given up, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He has no record as of now, and this is his 4th appearance of the season. And the pitch to Miller, and this time not squaring, and he looks at strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the guessing game going on between the Broncos and the Twins. Tony Colsing in on the turf cutout, the grass cutout, so to speak. He's just on the green at 3rd base, and you can see him on your screen there. Here's the 1-1 to Miller. Squares, bunts it hard, and foul. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We've seen Derby, even in this kind of situation, they'll put the hit and run on, they'll put the steal on. They have played carefree baseball. So Roger Cruz, the right-hander, looks in. He's got his sign from Ethan Maxey, the 1-2 pitch. And on the move, and a hit into the hole. Beautifully done. Hit and run. Stopping at second is Dominguez. And Miller just hit the vacated area of Nick Hammocky.
Number 15, Gavin Bourgeois.
That is an outstanding piece of hitting there by Dustin Miller. He waited on that ball and just went the other way. Hammocky covering. You would expect Miller to go to the right side, so it's Hammocky's job to cover second base, and Miller put it right through the hole. So here's Gavin Bourgeois, the leadoff batter for the Twins. Runners at 1st and 2nd. Other games tonight in our league. All the other series, they're finishing up as well. Bethany is at Dodge City. They split their first 2. Hayes is at Liberal, and Hayes has won the first 2 of those 3 games. Bourgeois, a beautiful bunt to 3rd. Cruz covers nicely in a close play at first, but they retire Bourgeois. Great job by Roger Cruz fielding his position, but an excellent bunt by Bourgeois moves the runners.
Number 10, Braden Barrett.
So with 1 away, Braden Barrett comes up, and the Twins knocking on the door again. 6-4, Derby leads. Barrett 1 for 2 tonight, singled in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd, and he walked in the 5th. And the first pitch out of the zone, ball 1. for Andrew Morales tonight. He went 5 innings, gave up, like I said, 6 runs, 5 hits. He had 5 strikeouts, and he walked 3 tonight. Early on, really hitting his zones, but turned out to be a taxing 5 innings for Morales. 1 ball and 1 strike from Cruz, and that pitch just out of the zone, ball 2. Jason Plynn waits on deck for the Twins. Roger Cruz goes from the windup, runners at second and third. Dominguez at third and Miller at second. The pitch way out in front, and fouling that out of play is Barrett. Gayla Campbell got a screenshot. I zoomed in on Tyson earlier, number 38. Got the backside of Tyson. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that one's fisted, fouled on the left field line. Appreciate that photo and shot there. She's not quite sure how she's going to handle Three Rivers. Was 45 minutes away. That's certainly doable, but off to Missouri Western is Tyson Campbell, and that's an 8-hour trip for the Campbells. Off speed, just out of the zone, ball 3. So Roger Cruz with a 3-2 count here to Braden Barrett. And the pitch into the turf, got past Maxey, ricochets back. And Dominguez goes back to third base, but a walk to Barrett. And here comes Jason Plynn. On pass balls that are fastballs, they will ricochet hard off the backstop. A lot of times those are hard to score on. It's those curveballs that are kind of that pop it, after they hit the turf and they go up in the air and they don't have quite as much zip. Those are the ones that you'll see runners from third score on here at Bradlong Field, and a mound visit to Roger Cruz. We are in the top of the 6th inning. And Roger Cruz is going to be done. So a new pitcher coming in for the Broncos. It's Joe Canady. We'll talk about him in a moment. Bases loaded, 1 away for the Twins here on YouTube. So Joe Canady will come in and try to get the Broncos out of big-time trouble here in the 6th inning. A walk, a single, a sacrifice, and a walk. 1 away for the Twins, and Jason Plynn up to the plate. I appreciate all the emails. It's always fun to see where everyone's watching and listening. Plus, with me just doing all the play-by-play and color commentary, it kind of adds another voice, really, to the broadcast. So all you parents are really helping me out. I do appreciate it. So SLO, San Luis Obispo, is where Cuesta Community College is. Bev Quinby telling me. Central coast of California. Ball 1, and then a throw down to Vaughn at first, and Barrett scampers back. 1 ball and 1 strikes. Joe Canady out of Newman University. He's from Augusta, just down the road. Here's the 1 ball, 1 strike count to Plynn, and Plynn fists it to short, not hit very hard. They go to the short way. Hammocky threw it into right field. There will be no advance That may be an infield hit. The play probably needed to go to first base there. So an error, and it'll be Nick Hammockey's third error of the night. No error. Okay, that's just an infield hit. It's hard to call an error there because it was slowly hit. So 7-4 now our score. So it's got to be an infield hit then for Plynn if there's no error. All right, a fielder's choice will be given. That makes sense. A fielder's choice, and beating it to second was Barrett. So Kennedy got the ground ball, but it just wasn't hit very hard by Plynn. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nick Burnham, who's been a tough customer. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. He came around and scored in the 5th. Derby looking to really hammer here. Here's a foul tip. Maxey's got it. And now the umpire says it was touched in foul territory, so it's a foul ball. Maxey going for that ball and Burnham going down to first. Those bodies, there's not much space there, and the ball ended up being touched just in foul territory by Ethan Maxey. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kennedy looking for an infield ground ball. See if they can turn 2 and get out of this mess. 7-4 Twins. Kennedy's pitch, and that's hit out into right field. Mike Leal's underneath it, and he's got the catch. He'll fire it towards home. Vaughn will cut it. They wouldn't have gotten Miller anyway, so a sacrifice fly for Burnham. And it's 8-4. Runners at first and second now for the Twins. And it's John Davis. John Davis has hit the ball hard tonight. He's 2 for 3. A couple of singles. He's got 2 runs batted in on the night. Kennedy's first pitch. High, ball 1. One ball and no strikes to John Davis. And the pitch from Kennedy hit right up the middle. Davis hit it hard. Webb's got it. And here comes the throw home, and it's safe. Will be Barrett scoring. So John Davis now 3 for 4 tonight. And boy, he's hit it hard every time. So Michael Bainbridge come up for the second straight inning. The Twins sending 8 batters to the plate. And it's the third 3-run inning for the Twins tonight. 9-4 Derby. Bainbridge 0 for 3 officially. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 1. No balls and a strike to Bainbridge. And Kennedy's pitch and a fastball past him. Strike 2. Well, if you need some solace, we know the Broncos have been really good in the 6th inning in the last few games here at home. So we'll see if they can do some damage when they come up. They've got some work in front of them. Bainbridge slices one out into left field. That's a hit. Sutherland will throw it to third, and another 2-out, 2-strike single by the Twins. They are just wearing El Dorado out with those. So they just keep the line moving, so to speak. And the second night in a row, the Twins put 10 on the board. So 10-4 Derby, and here's Kyle Walker, the 9th batter of the inning. And that pitch inside, ball 1. Walker didn't appreciate the insideness of that pitch, so to speak. Kennedy's 1-0 pitch, and that one's on the corner. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 10, 8, and 2 for the Twins. 4, 6, and 3 for El Dorado. And that pitch fouled off. Actually, I think it's just 2 errors for the Broncos tonight. No, it's 3. That's right, 3 errors. So the glove work has not been as crisp as Chad Gerwick would like the last 2 nights. 1 ball and 2 strikes again. This is when Derby's been at their most dangerous. That one in the turf, 2 and 2. The Twins have had 2 strike counts. I don't have the number here, but a number of times tonight. And they've come out smelling like roses more often than not. That pitch fouled into the turf. It will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. When the Broncos come up in the 6th inning, they'll have the top of their lineup up there with Webb, Hammocky, and Sutherland. And the 2-2 hit towards third, and another 2-strike, 2-out single. And they'll just go station to station. And Dominguez will come up for the 2nd time in the inning. Well, the Broncos just can't put that finishing pitch. So Dominguez walked and scored to lead off this inning. First pitch to Dominguez, a little upstairs, ball 1. Well, the difference in these 2 games, Derby has taken advantage of their opportunities, and the Broncos just have not done as much with their opportunities. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1 here to Dominguez, and that pitch in the turf. Maxey able to block it. You think about a warm night like it is here in El Dorado, boy, you think about Ethan Maxey. The last 2 innings, he has been in the crouch and in his gear for a lot of pitches. 18 batters now in the last 2 innings for Derby. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Lifted, foul, out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Dominguez. Can the Broncos finish off the Twins here in the 6th? 4 runs have already been plated by Derby. And the 2-2 from Canada, hit out into right field. Mike Leal and Tyler Webb. It's Webb taking control. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. The Twins, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors. 3 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Derby 10, El Dorado 4. Back in a moment on YouTube. So the night is over for the starting pitcher for Derby, Case Rocco. He goes 5 innings tonight, gave up 4 runs. He walked 3, struck out 1, gave up 6 hits. The Broncos had 4 hits in the first 2 innings, but all of a sudden the bats have gone quiet as they did last night. Only 2 hits in the last 4 innings for El Dorado. And the Twins have sent 18 to the plate in the last 2 innings, and they have scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings, and they have taken a 10-4 lead. So the new pitcher is Jake Engelhart, and immediately starts off Tyler Webb with a strike. Engelhart out of the Colorado Mines College. He's from Evergreen, Colorado. Webb squares and bunts, a beauty down the third base side. This will be a close play at first, and safe. A little trouble getting out of the glove for Bainbridge, but that should be a hit for Webb. So a good start for El Dorado here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And here comes Nick Hammocky. Nick Hammocky 0 for 3 tonight. Flew out to right, an RBI ground out in the 2nd, and hit into a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. So the leadoff batter on for El Dorado, and the first pitch, nice pick by Davis with the backhand, ball 1. Webb always kind of leans towards second, doesn't have a big lead, and here's the pitch, and in the turf, ball 2. Tough to be as aggressive as Derby has been for Chad Gerwick, down 6. You really don't want to get anyone out on the base paths. 2 balls and no strikes, and the pitch, and that one dives down low, ball 3. So now 3-0 to Nick Hammocky. I'm got to believe he's taking here, and he'll look all the way for strike 1. So 3 balls and a strike to Hammocky. Englehart's got his sign in the pitch, and Hammocky charges one out into center field. Miller going back and makes the catch. What a play by Miller out on the warning track. Hammocky put a great charge into that one, but Miller ran it down in center field. Tyler Sutherland gives Hammocky a high five. He put a charge into it, but good play by Miller. Miller was playing a fairly shallow center field. He really got on his horse and tracked that one down for the Twins. So here's Tyler Sutherland. And Sutherland looks at strike 1. Tyler tonight 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the first. Grounded out to short and reached on a error. No balls and a strike. And Sutherland hits it right to the second baseman. Flip to Barrett for 1. Over to first. Double play. Boy, they had him played beautifully there. Dominguez to Barrett to Plynn. And a 4-6-3. We'll head to the 7th inning. 10-4 Derby here on YouTube. So the El Dorado Broncos bring in a new pitcher, and it'll be number 33, Clayton Baskell from Fort Hays State University. And he'll try to slow down this Derby offense as they've come to life the last 2 innings, scoring 7 runs and leading 10-4. And first pitch swinging, Dustin Miller. He has singled twice. His single in the 6th inning, he eventually came around and scored. His single in the last inning, that was that beautiful hit through the vacated shortstop area on a hit and run. 1 ball and 1 strike. To Miller. And the pitch from Baskell, sidewinder, and that one dives down low, ball 2. Big thanks to our statistician. We just go by Gary. He's that, you got Beyonce, you've got Madonna, you've got Gary. We just go one word there. He provides me with stats every single night. Baskell with a 7.71 ERA coming in. This is his 3rd appearance for the Broncos. 3-1 to Miller, and he loops it foul. Colson gives it a look, and just out of his reach. Out of play, 3-2. Tony leaned over that fence over there by where I zoom in a lot in between innings, where the Bronco players like to hang out. And it was just he had his outstretched arm out there. It was probably another glove away from his glove. So 3-2 to Miller. And the pitch from Baskell fouled straight back. That would have ended up right here in the press box if that netting wasn't there. Ten 9-2 for the Twins, 4-7-3 for the Broncos. The Hayesville Aviators are in town tomorrow night for the first of 3. Here's Miller lifting one out into right field. Leal still giving chase to the wall, and it's one hopped against the wall. Leal fires it in, and Dustin Miller, the number 9 batter, is 3 for 3 for Derby. Well, that just kept on carrying, got into that jet stream up there, blowing right that way. That was hit perfectly. So a leadoff double for Miller. And the Twins just keep going here. And here's Gavin Bourgeois. He sacrificed his last time. Up 10-4. I don't think he'll be sacrificing here. And he looks at ball 1. For the night for Bourgeois, 0 for 3, but he has scored twice. Reached on an error and scored, reached on a fielder's choice, has a couple stolen bases. So even though he's 0 for 3, he has been a pest for the Broncos. 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and a sacrifice bunt. 1 ball and 1 strike to Bourgeois, the leadoff batter for the Derby Twins. Open stance. And the pitch from Baskell. He goes off speed, and that one low, ball 2. Bourgeois from LSU Eunice. He's from Church Point, Louisiana. And the pitch, and that's outside, ball 3. So the second straight batter, Baskell's gone to a 3-ball count. 3-2 pitch to Miller was pounded into right center field for a double. And now the 3-1 to Bourgeois, and a swing and a miss, strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three and 2 from Baskell to Bourgeois. And the pitch, low, ball 4. Hello to Pam Maxey. She's watching tonight from London, Kentucky. And you're welcome for the broadcast. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Glad to bring these games to all you great parents out there, and thanks so much for all the emails every single night. I don't get bored with them whatsoever. So 2 on for the Twins and nobody out, and that one got a piece of Ethan Maxey, and he's going to walk it off. The home plate umpire, they always do such a good job when, if the catcher gets dinged up a bit, they'll walk a ball out to the pitcher and give the catcher some time to gather his senses again. Ethan seems to be all right. No balls and 1 strike to Braden Barrett. Walked a couple times last night. He's walked twice tonight. He's 1 for 2 officially. He's got a stolen base and 2 runs scored. And the pitch, and that's right in there for strike 2. Getting into the meat of the Derby offense, though, with Plynn, Burnham, and Davis all coming up next for these Twins. Both teams dressed in white tonight on this warm evening in El Dorado. No balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch, Baskell. Slow pitch in there, dives down low, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch, and that's in there. Caught Barrett by surprise. A sneaky fastball by Baskell, and Barrett's out on strikes. So here comes Jason Plynn. Plynn, since he's entered the game, all he's done is go 1 for 3 with a double, 2 runs batted in, and scored a run. Plynn, right-handed batter, runners at first and second, and Baskell's first pitch inside, ball 1. In case you're wondering, each night I set up a link, or each morning I'll set up a link for the next game. For some reason, when we get here, that link doesn't work for me, so I usually have to create a new one, and that's why I put the Capitals updated on there, and it seems like those of you aren't having any problem with that, but I like to post the link on the Twitter and Facebook page so folks know that the game will be broadcast, so I'm glad that's not causing too much confusion. We try to get the video stream going as Plynn trying to wait on that slow curve, and he got under it and pops it into foul territory, and Tony Colsing catches it for the second out of the inning. Plynn got way out in front of that one. So thanks to our new setup here by Bill Young, we usually, when I get here, get set up, we'll get the video stream going. Here is Nick Burnham. And Maxey off his glove, and now he's got the couple of Twins rung up over to third and sliding in safe. Boy, making something out of nothing there was Miller. He thought he was going to make it easily. Maxey came up with the ball, threw behind him, and Miller just took off for third, and he made it. Going back to first base was Bourgeois. So 1 ball and no strikes, and now runners at first and third. Burnham, looks like he's about 6'3", 6'4" at the plate. On the move to second base, and they'll let Bourgeois go. So now runners at second and third. Also, we don't start the audio until after the national anthem. There's a regulation on YouTube that you can't have any licensed music going over the air. Here's a slow chopper to Colsing. He fires, and that throw is batted. Hit the first base coach right in the arm. 2 runs are going to score. Another error on the Broncos, and boy, that caught the first base Derby coach right square in the arm. So 2 runs score on that error. Colsing had to kind of double clutch on that throw. I don't know if he lost the handle of it, but boy, the Broncos defense has not been good the last 2 nights. Should have been out of the inning. Instead, it's 2 runs for the Twins. No run batted in for Burnham. 2 runs score on the air. And the first pitch outside, ball 1. That's unfortunate for El Dorado. And the first base coach all the way over to the dugout now. Boy, Colsing can really fire it too. So it caught him flush. And as a first base coach, he's not really watching the throw. He's watching his runner and watching the first baseman. And you don't expect to be wearing one on the side of the arm, and that's what he did. But he seems to be all right, but he'll probably feel it really tomorrow. 2 balls and no strikes to Davis, and he lines one down there, and what a play by the first base coach. Undeterred after taking one in the arm, he'll field that sharp foul ball. John Davis has hit the ball hard all night. He is 3 for 4. 3 runs batted in on 3 base hits. So now 9 runs for Derby in the last 3 innings, 12 in total. And the pitch from Basco, hit towards second. Anders Green gloves it, an off-balance throw to first. What a play by Anders Green to get the Broncos out of the inning. But 2 more runs across for the Twins. They did it on just 1 hit. There was a walk and a big error. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch here in El Dorado. 12-4, Derby. So a new pitcher coming in for the Derby Twins. He is Justin Ash. Justin is from Derby and goes to Independence Community College on the southeastern side of the great state of Kansas. And the Broncos will see if they can make some noise now. They've been kind of put on their heels by the Twins the last 3 innings, and we'll see if the Broncos can come out swinging, literally here. Slayton Vaughn will lead it off. He's 2 for 3. 2 singles. He scored a run back in the 3rd inning. Vaughn, Price, and Colsing, the scheduled 3 for the El Dorado Broncos. And the first pitch from Ash, and Vaughn fouls it out of play. Well, it started out good tonight for El Dorado. Oh, we lost our scoreboard. The Broncos scored 4 runs in the first 3 innings. They led 3-0 after 2. Derby tied it with 3 in the 3rd, but then the Broncos came back and took a 4-3 lead. And Vaughn waits on that slow curve and smacks it into left field, a base hit for Slayton Vaughn. He is 3 for 4 tonight. So that'll bring up Will Price. See if I can, let's see, there we go. It's kind of pointed a little down on my camera there. We'll get it up a little better view there. Now Will Price up for the Broncos. He's 1 for 2. RBI single in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd, and he was the victim of a tremendous throw by Nick Burnham on a fly ball from Anders Green out into right field. Burnham threw Price out by 5 steps. And then Will ground it out to short his last time. And that pitch in the turf. Slayton Vaughn will move down to second base. Well, the Twins have been known to give up runs, and we'll see if the Broncos can capitalize here. Wind gusting pretty good out of the south tonight, from right to left. And now quite a long mound to visit here between Davis and Ash. Slayton Vaughn down to second base for El Dorado. And now Will Price is ready, so is Justin Ash. Ash has assigned Vaughn with a pretty good lead off of second base. And the pitch. And that one's down low, out of the glove of Davis, but right in front of him. I believe it's 2-1 here. We lost our scoreboard. So Will Price, either a 2-1 or 3-1 count here. He's ahead no matter what. And the pitch from Ash, and that one in there for a strike. So a couple of strikes now on Will Price out of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Ash with a long look in, 12-4 Derby. And the pitch from Ash into the turf, and that was 3-2, so a walk to Will Price. And the Derby manager is going to walk out. Not too concerned yet, but doesn't want things to get too interesting here. Runners at first and second with none away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Our broadcasts. We had a corporate sponsor step up, first time ever, and we're thankful for El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated. Standard frame types available, 24 feet wide to modular spans of 240 feet. You'll find a degree of versatility rare in today's metal building market. Brad and Roxanne Cool. Those of you folks that are enjoying our broadcast, boy, if you're in town, you get a chance. Brad and Roxanne would be great folks to thank for our broadcasts. And if you'd like to help out with the broadcasts, you can email me. So the first pitch to Colsing, and he grounds it to third. A little trouble for Bainbridge, over to second for one, and then a wild throw to first gets away, and it rolls into the dugout. So Vaughn will score, and Colsing will go down to second base. So a fielder's choice, and then an error on the throw. Vaughn scores, and it makes it 12-5. And here's Anders Green. He'll bat left-handed now. Switch hitter is Anders. From the right side tonight, Anders 1 for 2. Tony Colsing off of second, and he will look to steal third. The Twins giving him the base. They're up 7. Their main concern is the batter right now. Broncos will take whatever they can get right now, down 7. And the pitch to Green in there for a strike. So a ball and a strike here to Anders Green. Ash has his sign. And the pitch. That one's low. I believe it's 2-1 now on Anders Green. Ethan Maxey on deck for the Broncos. And the pitch. And that one's inside out of the zone. Now 3-1 to Anders Green. Drake Harper is warming up for the Broncos down in the bullpen. The Twins have been using the Broncos bullpen tonight as well. I think they have someone up. And the 3-1 pitch. Green slaps it out into left field. A base hit. An RBI single for Anders Green, who made that tremendous defensive play to end the 7th inning. RBI single. And it's 12-6. And here's Ethan Maxey. Ethan 0 for 1 officially tonight. A sacrifice bunt in the second. Flew out to very deep right field in the third, and then he walked his last time and looks at ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. Couple of hits in the inning, and hey, Bill Young, Dale Short, that mindset, that brain set got the scoreboard back on. 1 ball and no strikes to Maxey. The pitch, and he hits this one, and it's going to get out of play. And bounce on the sidewalk and into the parking lot. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ethan Maxey. 1 out in the inning. Lead off of first base, Anders Green. A safe lead. And Maxey got tired of waiting. 12, 11, and 2 for the Twins. 6, 9, and 4 for El Dorado. 3 errors last night, 4 more tonight for the Broncos. Pitch from Ash. That's in there for strike 2. So a ball and 2 strikes to Ethan Maxey. Mike Leal waits on deck for the Broncos. And the pitch to Maxey, fouled it out of play. So Maxey protecting that dish for El Dorado. Every out so valuable right now at this juncture. The Broncos have scored 2 here in the 7th. Anders Green, an RBI single just a moment ago. Now Maxey, and again, spoils a 1-2 pitch. So it remains 1 and 2. We'll zoom in on the scoreboard after this half inning. You can get a look at the line score and the box score. And Green on the go, and that pitch hit Maxey in the shoulder. He will take first base. So here comes Mike Leal. Mike Leal tonight's walked twice and struck out. He's 0 for 1 officially. Walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Ethan Maxey waving his arm, trying to get some feeling back in there. He took that right in the shoulder. And Leal looks at strike 1. They're making Ash work here in the 7th. Broncos come into the game 3-5, currently 4 games out of first place. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Leal fouls it out of play, strike 2. Bethany and Dodge City at 5-3. Wellington and Hayesville were rained out last night. They're playing a doubleheader today. Wellington, the Heat, are 4-3. The Aviators are 3-4. Derby and Liberal at 2-6. Behind the Broncos at 3-5. No balls and 2 strikes to Mike Leal. Left-handed batter, and the pitch, and that one's upstairs, ball 1. Mike Leal trying to stay hot. He came into this game batting .355. A ball and 2 strikes. Green down at second. Maxey at first. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Ash. And the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Tyler Webb. He'll try to keep the line moving here for the Broncos. Ash ready to deal with Webb, who's 2 for 4 tonight. And the first pitch in there for strike one. Broncos have had a patient approach here in the 7th inning. Vaughn led off with a single. Price walked. Colsing hit into a fielder's choice. Vaughn scored on a throwing error. And that 0-1 pitch in there for strike two. Anders Green had an RBI single. Maxey was hit by a pitch and Leal struck out. Now no balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Webb. Ash trying to get out of further trouble here in the 7th. And the pitch, and Webb hits it towards third. Bainbridge has it, goes over to second, and they retire Maxey. So 2 runs in the inning for the Broncos. They had 2 hits. There was an error and 2 left. So we'll go to the 8th inning. Derby 12, El Dorado 6. And welcome back here to El Dorado. As we scanned around, we saw Mark Quinby down in the bullpen. Drake Harper, the new pitcher for the Broncos. And panned out on that scoreboard. A lot of crooked numbers up there on the scoreboard tonight. Drake Harper got the win in Tuesday night's win at Derby. And he'll deal with a pinch hitter. It's Michael Bergerello, who played here last night, and he puts a charge in one out into left field. Tyler Sutherland gets under it, though, and he makes the catch. Pretty good wood there from Bergerello. Just didn't carry for him, so the first out of the inning is recorded by Harper. Drake Harper goes to school right here in El Dorado at Butler County Community College. He's from Ardmore, Oklahoma, 6'3", 185. Here is Kyle Walker, And the first pitch outside, ball 1. Harper on the season, 2 wins and a loss. He's making his 7th appearance of the season. And Walker goes the other way and fouls it out of play. Strike 1. Walker came to the plate in the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th innings for Derby tonight. He's 1 for 4. Had a big night here last night, going 4 for 5 and a knee buckler. It's a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Walker. Harper works out of the stretch. Comes set, and now he's ready to deliver a 1-2, and Walker hits it out into left field. Sutherland is right there on the left field line and makes the play in fair territory, and the second out of the inning. If you see on your on the picture, I try to get, since there's usually more plays at first, I try to keep first base in your vantage point. Unfortunately, that cuts off Tony Colsing at third base and Tyler Sutherland out in left field. Here's Christian Dominguez. Each time Dominguez has walked, he's scored. He's 0 for 2, and he squares the bunt, and that's in the turf, ball 1. Walks have hurt the Broncos tonight. Tell you about that here in a second. Here is the 1-0 pitch to Dominguez, and that's outside, ball 2. Let's see. Trying to add up the walks by El Dorado tonight. They've walked 6 Twins tonight. Here's a pitch from Harper, just off the plate, ball 3. And of those 6 walks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. Yeah, every guy that has walked for Derby has scored tonight. So 6 batters have walked, and all 6 scored. And a 4-pitch walk to Dominguez.
Number 3, Dustin Miller.
Sometimes my comments up here in the box get some chuckles, but that one got some groans there. 6 walks, they've all scored, and the Broncos have committed 4 errors tonight. And of those 4 errors, 2 of those that reached by error scored. So you figure 8 of the 12 runs they got on base by error or walk have scored for Derby. They have taken advantage of their opportunities, to say the least. 12-6 Derby, top of the 8th, and a 1-0 count here to Dustin Miller. Miller has been a tremendous number 9 hitter tonight. When asked to bunt, he's done so. When asked to hit, he's done that too. He's 3 for 3. 2 singles and a double, a stolen base. A ball and a strike to Miller, and the curveball. Ooh, looked good. They guess it was a little upstairs. Good pitch by Harper. 2 balls and a strike. When we talk about you need some fortune, you need some of those pitchers' pitches. We saw Dodge City get a lot of those Friday and Saturday here, and Derby's probably gotten a few more of those in El Dorado, although that one got in there for Harper, and it's 2-2. That one didn't look quite as good as the last one, and it evens out. It usually does. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 away here in the 8th, and the pitch from Harper tapped foul. So it remains 2-2 with Dominguez down at first base. He received a 2-out walk. And that pitch right down the middle, and Miller knew it. A good inning for Drake Harper. He faces 4 batters. He struck out 1. He walked 1. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 12-6 Derby. And welcome back here to McDonald Stadium. 12-6 in favor of the Derby Twins. And thanks for the email, Jeannie Harper. Marshall and Jeannie, Drake's parents, they watch all of the games as well from Ardmore, Oklahoma, and they let us know that Drake is committed to go to Missouri Baptist next year. So congratulations on that decision. Drake Harper has been really good for the Broncos so far this year. And he had a pretty efficient top half of the 8th inning. Bronco bats need to keep heated up here as they'll bring 2, 3, and 4 to the plate. Nick Hammocky will lead it off. Tonight, I was hoping to get him on camera, but I think he's down by the dugout. Bob Fornelli is a former El Dorado Bronco coach. He's here. What a resume he's got. He was the pitching coach at Butler County until 1996, and he was the Broncos coach in 1996. And the year that El Dorado won the NBC championship, went on to become the winningest coach in the history of Fort Hays State University. And he's coached at Emporia State University for 13 years and has achieved over 800 collegiate wins. So nice to have Bob Fornelli here in the crowd tonight. Bob has probably had some games where there's been lots of walks and errors. You imagine in a long career like that, these games sometimes happen. We'll see if El Dorado can fight through all of that here. 12-6. Nick Hammocky leading off. New pitcher in the game for Derby is Luke Vetri. He's from Jackson State Community College, and quickly behind 2-0. As I need to switch my graphics, there we go. Clarksville, Tennessee, the hometown of Luke Vetri. He goes from the stretch and the pitch in their first strike. Well, you see a lot of pitchers anymore, at least in the Jayhawk League here that we've seen. A lot of the pitchers go from the stretch. The Broncos starter tonight, Andrew Morales, starts out in the stretch. Hammocky fouls this one off, and Vetri works back to a 2-2 count. Bottom of the 8th inning, 12-6 in favor of the Twins. El Dorado would love to get that leadoff batter on. That always seems to just create some havoc. Here's the 2-2 to Hammocky, and that one nearly hit him. And now 3-2. Boy, the arm motion really slowed down for Vetri there, and as a batter, I'm sure Hammocky had a pretty good read. That was going to be some kind of curve or slider. And now the 3-2. Fastball, Hammocky rips one out to center, but Miller is right there. So Nick Hammocky's hit it hard twice, but Miller has been right there each time. That's the first out of the inning. So here's Tyler Sutherland. Sutherland hit it hard the last time, but right at a perfectly placed second baseman, Christian Dominguez, and they rolled up a 4-6-3 double play. Generally, that's the way it's got to be to double up Tyler Sutherland. He is 1 for 4 on the night. Singled and scored back in the first inning. And the first pitch from Vetri out of the zone, ball 1. So the 1-0 from Vetri, and that's in there for strike 1. See if the Broncos can get some one-out magic going here. Of course, don't forget, all these games are archived as Tyler Sutherland whistles one right past the pitcher Vetri into center field, a base hit. So maybe a one-out start here for El Dorado. Yeah, once this game's done, we'll complete the stream and it'll be archived. And again, I apologize, I haven't been able to really fix the Sunday night game yet. Here's Slayton Vaughn. He's been the hitting star tonight for El Dorado. 3 for 4, 2 singles, and 2 runs scored. Sutherland a safe lead off of first base, and the pitch. And Vaughn rips it just foul down the third base line. It's interesting seeing Slayton. He's 6'7", 260 from Azle, Texas. Goes to Stephen F. Austin. But so far in his time here in El Dorado, he's been really a singles hitter. He's hits it hard, but generally been base hitting it. This one in the turf, ball one. Just got to believe if he gets his pitch, he could just unload. One ball and one strike to Slayton Vaughn. Will Price waits on deck for the Broncos. And the pitch, and that one's low, ball two. Home games tomorrow and Saturday. We'll have the broadcast for you each night, 7 o'clock Friday, 7 o'clock Saturday. Hayesville will be here to take on El Dorado. Not a long trip from Hayesville to El Dorado, and then the Broncos go to Hayesville on Sunday. Broncos are off on Monday, and then they go down to Bethany, Oklahoma for 3 games. Here's the 2-1. That stays upstairs. Ball 3 to Slayton Vaughn. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Tyler Sutherland down at first base. Hands on his knees as he has his lead. And the pitch to Vaughn. And he uncorks one down into deep left field, but he got in front of it, and that's well foul. That's what I've been waiting to see from Slayton Vaughn. Boy, did he put a charge into that one, and that was way out of here, but way foul. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, just a long strike for Vetri as far as he's concerned. So Vetri with the 3-2 pitch, and Vaughn rips another one. This one out into left field, off the top of the wall. Just underneath that yellow line out in the outfield, on the outfield wall. It'll be a stand-up double for Vaughn, and boy, he liked what he was seeing from Vetri. Line drive off the wall by Vaughn. So runners at second and third, and now a mound visit as Will Price steps up to the plate. Slayton Vaughn tonight, all he's done is go 4 for 5. Derby still ahead comfortably 12-6, but boy, if Will Price can come up with something here, the Broncos can creep ever closer, and it's not Will Price, it's going to be Philip Jacobson coming up for Will Price. So Philip Jacobson will pinch hit here. Jacobson from South Dakota State University, 6'1", 195. And his first at bat here in these games against Derby, and he looks at a low strike, strike 1. Jacobson hitting just 154 on the season. Hasn't had a lot of at-bats, 13 at-bats. Strikeouts have been an issue for Phillips so far in the early going. 7 strikeouts in his 13 at-bats. Look to put one in play here. Runners at second and third. Derby plays back. They'll give up a run for an out. And the pitch in the turf, ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Jacobson. Each team with 11 hits tonight. The Broncos have committed 4 errors, the Twins 3 errors, but the score that the numbers that really matter is that runs category. Jacobson looks up high, ball 2. 12-6, Derby. So Vetri down in the count, 2-1. The pitch to Jacobson in there for strike 2. Tony Colsing waits on deck. And a 2-2 count here to Philip Jacobson. And the pitch from Vetri. And Jacobson chops it towards first. And Plynn will just take the out. That'll drive in a run, so a productive out. But the Twins are happy to give up the run for an out. Over to third base is Slayton Vaughn. Sutherland scored on the putout. And it's 12-7. Tony Colsing will try to get a big 2-out hit. Derby's had a ton of 2-out hits tonight. The Broncos are in need of one here. The pitch to Colsing. That one in there for strike one. Colsing bailing out a bit on that pitch. Anders Green waits on deck for El Dorado. No balls and a strike to the Chaska, Minnesota native, and just off the inside corner, ball one. One ball, one strike to Tony Colsing. And the pitch, and Colsing hits it towards Barrett at short. Barrett's got it, fires over to first, and that'll retire Tony Colsing to end the inning. The Broncos score 1 on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. We'll go to the 9th. Derby 12, El Dorado 7. Well, I know Bev Quinby, who is going to be bringing us garlic when she comes and visits. Her son, Mark Quinby, is going to pitch the 9th inning. His job, simple. Keep Derby right here at 12 and give the Broncos a chance. Although down 5 is a tall order. First pitch out of the zone, ball 1. As Gavin Bourgeois leads it off here for Derby in the 9th inning. Bourgeois has scored 3 runs tonight, and he rips one out into left field. Tyler Sutherland on the run, and a sliding catch out in left field. Sutherland with the nice catch for El Dorado. Mark Quinby from San Mateo Community College, 6'1", 195 out of Gilroy, California. And on the season for Mark, this is his 6th appearance, and he's got a 0.000 ERA. He's only allowed 1 hit in 5 innings of work. So Mark has been very valuable for the Broncos. No record, but 2 saves on the year for Quinby. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts in 5 innings of work. Every number I read on Mark is very impressive. 2 balls and no strikes here to Braden Barrett. One away in the Derby 9th. And that pitch upstairs, ball 3. The Derby Twins scored 3 in the 5th inning, 4 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. To go along with their 3 runs they scored in the 3rd inning, El Dorado scored 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. 12-11-3 for Derby, 7-11-4 for El Dorado. Quinby's 3-0 pitch, and that's right in there for strike 1, taking all the way, was Barrett. Plynn waits on deck. And the 3-1, that one's inside, ball 4. Off of Ethan Maxey's glove, he runs it down at the backstop, and a free pass for Braden Barrett. And Barrett has walked 3 times tonight, struck out twice, and singled. He's had a busy night. Here's Plynn. Jason Plynn. 1 out of 4 tonight. Couple of RBIs and a run scored. And the pitch, and a mighty cut, and a challenge fastball got past him, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch from Quinby to Plynn. That one just a bit low, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Quinby's got his sign. Shallow lead by Barrett. And the pitch off speed, and way in front was Plynn, now 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. And time called by Plynn as he got tired of waiting. Did you see Colby Lewis from the Rangers today? Texas was at Oakland for some day baseball today, and Colby Lewis had a perfect game into the 8th inning. He gave up a walk in the 8th, still had a no-hitter going into the 9th, but he lost the no-hitter and the shutout in the 9th inning. Plynn, a high, lazy fly ball out to Sutherland in left field. He's got the catch in the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 Twins away here in the 9th inning, and here comes Nick Burnham. Burnham started the game at first base, but was moved out to right field, and Plynn took over at first base when Brennan Grant suffered an injury in the 1st inning. Nick Burnham has done a little of everything, it looks like, here tonight on my score sheet. There's ball 1. A strikeout, a ground out, walked and scored, a sacrifice, and reached on an error. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch, that one's low, ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. Quinby's got his sign from Maxey. Here's the 2-0 to Burnham, and the curveball drops in there beautifully. Strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1, that's outside, ball 3. Well, the Broncos with 4 errors. You know what happens? I was looking at some box scores today, and the Philadelphia Phillies, Major League Phillies, they committed 4 errors tonight in a 13-2 loss to the Toronto Blue Jays. It happens. That one in there, strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Vaughn will back off of first base as Barrett will be going on this pitch to Burnham. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 away in the 9th. And Mark Quinby comes home, and that pitch got away from him inside, ball 4. So Quinby only had walked 1 batter coming into his appearance tonight, has walked 2 here in the 9th. Last night it was the Broncos who were issued 8 walks from Derby. Well, the Broncos have issued, I believe it's 9 walks now tonight. 9 bases on balls by Bronco pitching. And that brings up John Davis, the catcher. And the first pitch, and he rifles one foul. John Davis from Edmond, Oklahoma, goes to Arkansas Little Rock. Had singles in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. Here's the 0-1, and the curveball in there, and strike 2. So Quinby, a strike away from getting out of the 9th inning. Oh, and 2 to Davis. And the pitch, and Davis hits it out into left field. Sutherland on the run. Another diving catch in foul territory. He made it. What a play by Sutherland. He made all 3 putouts in the inning. 2 of them sliding. That one the most dramatic. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Twins 12, Broncos 7. More in a moment on YouTube. The El Dorado Broncos looking for a big bottom of the 9th inning. Otherwise, they're going to drop their 2nd straight here at McDonald Stadium. Anders Green will lead it off, the 6'2", 190-pound Silverton, Oregon product, who's had a good night. Hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd inning. Flew out to right in the 3rd, and a couple of singles his last 2 at-bats. He's got a stolen base, an RBI, a run scored. And a new pitcher in there for the Derby Twins, who in warm-ups, watching him, he was throwing smoke. It's Christian Vick. Now, Drake Harper has some pretty good salad for the Broncos, but I'll tell you what, the lettuce on the head of Vick might outdo that. He's got some pretty good locks going on out there. And he's high on his first 2 deliveries. 2-0 to Anders Green. Always important when you want to rally, whether it's 1 run or 5 runs, that leadoff batter. And it's Anders Green here for El Dorado. The pitch from Vick, and Green is slapping at the one foul out of play. Strike 1. Again, you have a first half winner and a second half winner in the Jayhawk League. Right now, Hayes is in a good spot at 7-1, about halfway through the first half of the season. And Green again goes that same way, fouls it out of play, strike 2. Let's see, how many games in each half? Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So we're not quite at the halfway point. You'll play 21 games in each half. But it's important to stay in contact. And right now the Broncos came into this game 4 games out of first. And they don't see Hayes again here in the first half. They'll see Hayes when many of you come for the 4th of July celebration. The Hayes Larks will be here. And Hayes right now leading the league at 7-1. Here's the 2-2, and again, Green fights off that fastball. The first half winner will automatically qualify to the second week of the NBC World Series, which is such a great event in Wichita. The second half winner will also advance to that second week. Those of you that aren't familiar with that NBC World Series, here's the 2-2, and Anders Green, a sharp single into right field. So 3 straight singles for Anders Green and a good start to the Broncos here in the 9th inning. The NBC World Series, 2 weeks worth of baseball. They have baseball round the clock where they play all day and all night long. It's quite an event, and you want to get to the second week of that. And if you win the first half or the second half of the Jayhawk League, you will automatically qualify for that. The third place team, the third place overall team, will qualify for the first week of the NBC. So 3 out of the 8 teams will for sure go to the NBC World Series. And then sometimes there's teams from far away that just can't afford it. And since our league is so close, sometimes we get extra bids. But to guarantee your spot, you want to win the first half or the second half of the regular season. Ethan Maxey at the dish, and he's ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. You never know in this crazy game. Bainbridge seems to be guarding the line a bit over at third. 2 balls and no strikes to Ethan Maxey, and a check swing, and he went, strike 1. Christian Vick is from Jackson State Community College. His hometown is Camden, Tennessee. Got the hair dangling on the shoulders. 2 balls and a strike to Maxey. That's inside, ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike to Maxey. Mike Leal waits on deck for the Broncos. They have out-hit the Twins 12-11. But the Broncos have issued 9 walks and committed 4 errors. That is a tough recipe to overcome, but the Broncos will try to do it here. Maxey, he thought he looked at ball 4. Instead, he looks at strike 2. So a full count now to Ethan Maxey. Three balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, Maxey hit on the fist, slow roller to third. They'll go to the second and able to retire Anders Green. So the first out is recorded in the inning. Maxey got jammed on that one, fisted that one to third. And now we're going to have a pinch runner over at first base for Ethan Maxey. The pinch runner is going to be Mason Heiser. So Mason Heiser will pinch run for Ethan Maxey. And here's Mike Leal. There's been a run scored in every inning except for the 4th inning. might bode well for El Dorado. Derby did not score in the top of the ninth. Mike Leal, and he fouls off the first offering from Vic, strike one. Mason Heiser went an inning and 2/3 last night for El Dorado and was really good for the Broncos. He'll get a big lead. Plynn not holding him on. The Twins just worried about getting outs right now. And that pitch up high, ball one. Heiser could probably take second if he wants to. The Twins aren't too worried about Mason Heiser. They're up 5 with one away here in the ninth inning. And the pitch, and that one's on the inside corner. Strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Broncos will head to the top of the lineup with Tyler Webb next if the Twins don't turn some kind of double play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Heiser with a terrific lead off of first, and now he starts creeping back towards first, and the pitch, that's up high, ball 2. Surprised Heiser is not going. He's getting a huge lead, but Vic does deliver the ball quickly to home. Probably don't want to risk any kind of injury to Mason Heiser, but he's out there to run nonetheless for Ethan Maxey. And the pitch, and Leal taps it foul. He'll stay alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If anything, Mason's getting a little workout in, running back and forth out there. Last night we had lots of lightning flashing in the area. El Dorado did finally receive some rain last night, but the baseball gods were on our side. Leal fists one towards third, and Heiser able to beat the throw to second. Again, a slow roller, and Heiser had a huge lead, so he beats it. It'll be a fielder's choice, and Leal reaches. So to the top of the order. Tyler Webb comes to the plate for the Broncos. 12-7 Derby. A single and a pair of fielder's choices here in the ninth. Runners at first and second, 1 away. And the pitch to Webb on the corner, strike 1. Tyler Webb gets some of the toughest strike calls of any Bronco. Tyler Webb tonight is 6th at bat. He is 2 out of 5. 2 singles and an RBI. And the pitch hit right out to second base. Mason Heiser drifted off, and that's a line-out double play. And the Derby Twins come away with the victory. Boy, I was just about to say, if Webb could get it out into right center field, there was a huge gap. And unfortunately, Webb hit it right at the second baseman. Otherwise, that would have been would have made it exciting, that's for sure. But a line-out double play will end the game. So the final score tonight, we'll zoom in on the scoreboard for you. The Derby Twins come out and win by a score of 12-7. 12 runs on 11 hits and 3 errors for the Broncos. 7 runs, 12 hits, and 4 errors. The losing pitcher is Andrew Morales. He will get the loss tonight for El Dorado. I'm trying to think. Case Rocco will get the win for the Derby Twins. No save recorded. So Rocco the win, Morales the loss. And El Dorado and Derby are now tied in the league with records of 3 and 6. Well, the Broncos will see if they can right the ship. Again, they issued 9 walks tonight. They committed 4 errors, and that is just a lot to overcome. And El Dorado unable to do so tonight. They did hit the ball better than they did last night. They got 12 hits, but just fell too far behind. 12-7, the Twins win it. Both teams are 3 and 6 in league play. The Hayesville Aviators will be in town for the next 2 nights. We'll see Hayesville tomorrow and Saturday, and we'll have broadcasts each night. 7 o'clock for both games. Appreciate all the emails tonight, and hope you glad you enjoyed the broadcast, even though we can't report good news. See if the Broncos can get it turned around tomorrow night. 12-7 our final score. Thanks so much for watching and for listening and for emailing. Kurt Caden bidding you good night from El Dorado.